What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we're going to talk about the new pie that I've created on my trading 212 app and my thought process behind this. But before we get into today's video, it'd be great if you consider subscribing to this channel, as we're now on 209 subscribers, so thanks very much to everyone that has done so thus far. So when creating this portfolio, I wanted to incorporate 20 companies instead of 25 going forward, and I wanted to allocate it in the following way. So going from the bottom up, I wanted to have 10% allocated into an ETF, I wanted to have 2% in real estate, I wanted 2% in utilities, 5% in communication services, 30% in tech, 9% in financial, 8% in the healthcare sector. In consumer staples, I wanted 15%. In the consumer discretionary, I also wanted 15%. And in the industrial sector, I wanted 4%. I have then cut out the two sectors of energy and materials, as I wanted to have these more incorporated into an ETF style thing to diversify my sectors in that way, as it's quite hard to pick one or two single energy or material sectors that really stood out for me, which there wasn't. So I wanted to have an overall perspective, which is why I wanted to go with an ETF and to take those two sectors out. So we can go into my trading 212 pile now. And here you can see the overview. I've called it the financial freedom journey. There's three sectors, or three tabs, I should say, in this portfolio. It's called the overview, the holdings, and the auto invest tab. So currently, this portfolio is worth €3,573. I have 3,536.36 invested. And so far, since creating this portfolio last night, I'm up €36, or just over 1%. So I'm quite happy with that so far. You can see there's nothing in the dividend income section yet, as this is just created, so it'll take a while for that. I have created, since starting this journey, I've wanted to get to 100,000 invested. So you can see so far we're at 3.5% of the way to getting to that goal. In the second tab, we have the holdings. And as discussed earlier, I wanted to have 20 companies in this overall portfolio to help diversify, and I also wanted them allocated out in different ways. So with my ETF, I went with Vanguard, the S&P 500, and I want 10% of my funds allocated into this. Next up, I have Apple, and 8% I want to have invested at any one time. I want 8% weighting in Facebook, 8% weighting in Alphabet or Google. In Microsoft, I want 6%. Coca-Cola, I want 6%. PepsiCo, I want 6%. With Walt Disney, 5%. With Amazon, I want 5% of my holdings in this company. With Procter & Gamble, I want another 5% in this company. 5% in McDonald's, 4% in Johnson & Johnson, 4% in 3M, 4% in AbbVie, I want 3% in Tesla, and then I have 3 banking stocks here, JP Morgan & Chase, Bank of America, and Goldman Sachs, each of which I want 3% allocated of my funds. We also have 2% allocated to real income and 2% into waste management. So at any given time, you can edit your pie. So simply if you went into edit the pie, you can see at the top that on average over the past 5 years historical data, that I should be getting about 16.66% return annually on this portfolio. But at any given time, let's say, even down the line, I might even up my Vanguard S&P ETF up to even maybe 20% going forward when the funds start to get higher, to reduce my risk exposure. Or you can toggle on and off, so I could even reduce that, or I could remove it completely, add in other companies, etc. As I said, this is just the beginning point, and go down the line, I might invest more into the ETFs, and instead of having 19 other companies, I might even start reducing this down to maybe 14 others to get it down to the 15 companies, or even 9 others to get it down to the 10 companies going forward. So that can be changed any time. Another very good feature is the rebalance below the edit the pie. So for example, you can see at the top here for Vanguard, it's currently 9.96%, and I wanted to have roughly 10%. So if I wanted to rebalance this, it would buy and sell out of all the other companies in this portfolio to get them all back to the percentage on the right, to get them all back to the desired weightings outcomes that I wanted. So I'm quite happy with that feature, and I probably will be to rebalance this portfolio once a month or so, just to get it all back in line in case something has dropped or risen. So also what I've noted is that I was looking at the Vanguard ETF and I found quite interesting data that I think anyone that wants to kind of invest in ETF should obviously make sure you know what's in the ETF itself. So the ticker for this S&P is VUSA. It's on the London Stock Exchange. There's 506 companies in this S&P. If we could scroll down here, you can see the exposure. So the weight exposure, there's 27.5% in information technology, 14.5% in healthcare, 11% in consumer discretionary, just under 11% in consumer services, 9.9% in finance, just under 8% in the industrial sector, 7% in consumers. In the utilities, they have 3.1% allocated. In real estate, they have 2.8%. Materials is 2.6%. Energy is 2.5%, which equates to the full 100%. So as I said a while ago, I took out the energy sector and the material sector out of my own portfolio as I wanted to have more of an exposure diversification in the material and energy sector, and I found this could be done by having the S&P 500. When you scroll down here, you can see, just for example, obviously I won't go through all 506 companies that are in this portfolio, as you could be here for a few days, but what I'll do, I'll just look through the top 10 holdings of the weightings in order here. So their top holding is Apple at 6.39%, Microsoft has 5.74%, just under 5% is Amazon. They have Facebook Class A at 2.25%, Alphabet Class A is 1.63%, they have Class C at 1.62%, they have Johnson & Johnson at 1.42%, Berkshire Hathaway B ETF at 1.4%, Procter & Gamble at 1.2%, and Visa at 1.19%. So with that being said, today's video is just kind of an update of where my pie after being created, and kind of a brief logic behind why I picked each of those companies. And my plans going forward will be to see how it goes basically, and we'll see how to rebalance over time, and if I'm going to be adding in or reducing that companies to reduce or increase my diversification. So with that being said, thanks as always for watching the videos. It would be great if you can consider subscribing to this channel and liking the video, and comment below with your views on the trading 2 and 2 pies, if you have one yourself, what companies you currently hold, if you think that 20 is too much or too little. Thanks very much, and I will see you guys in the next video.